My name is Mark Biernack. I'm a monetary economist. In this video, I want to talk about the McDonald's index applied. It's actually the Big Mac index applied to Russia and the Russian economy, but I want to talk about all kind of interesting things. First, it's 4th of July. I was scrolling down, looking for some fireworks. Congratulations, Ukrainians celebrated the fireworks first. What is it? Kronstadt, Saki Airfield. And then I see St. Petersburg. It's up in fireworks or something going on there. Maybe the president or DC's there. But there's a lot of action in St. Petersburg. Again, I don't know why they call it St. Petersburg. You should go back to Leningrad or something, because that's a Russian St. Peter. He's anti-war, and Berg is kind of like a German name. But anyway, the oil terminal's on fire. It's blazing, and they can't put it out. It's oil, gas, grains, everything goes through there. Was in St. Petersburg a while back. Can't go there now for obvious reasons. That's the first housekeeping. Okay, good job, Ukraine, for celebrating the fireworks first. What I want to talk about is, though, food inflation, the economy. You've heard all this, but from a different angle. We have these strange indexes like the lipstick index. We have the hemline index, where women's hemlines, they dress more conservatively when times are bad. But the McDonald's index, I think The Economist was publishing it, but there's various Big Mac index, the various other indicators, variations of this. What is basically a PPP, purchasing power parity, of comparing one country to another, because a Big Mac is pretty universal. It's the same, universal quantity, quality in every country. And it just simply, how many hours or how many Big Macs can I produce or consume with my monthly income? I think it's a fair evaluation. And I think it's more fair than, any kind of aggregate GDP numbers. Like I've said, official Russian statistics flow down to the IMF, which, second generation Reuters repeats. And who knows why it's positive. I'm going to show you why the Russian economy is tanking again from another perspective. The Big Mac index. The problem with the Big Mac index, what is it? Russia doesn't have McDonald's anymore. They confiscated the assets, or whatever they did, sold it. And this is Alexander Gover or whoever bought it, but whatever. They call it now Tasty, full stop. Tasty, period. Some people say it's tasty and better. But it's really, the official literal translation is tasty, period. Makes it sound authoritarian. You better like this or else. So they have a burger called the Big Special Burger. Really cheesy names they come up with. My goodness, just geniuses. Genius. Crush it. Business community. I don't know. We can't understand how their minds work, how great they are. So when I see something like tasty, period, and Big Special Burger, yeah, I'm going to be getting that, because that just appeals to me. Okay? So we're going to compare that burger, which is the comparable burger, to the Big Mac. The Big Mac costs, in the U.S., it costs $6.12. Yeah, everybody's going to say, food inflation. In Russia, it costs $7.63. Oh, Russia must be a richer country than the U.S., because usually it goes the inverse way. For example, India, it's $2.62. So we know that the prices will be adjusted for the local market. And in Switzerland, it's basically the price of not Moscow, not St. Petersburg, just any town, Russia, 123 Main Street. It's basically the price of a Big Mac in Switzerland, which is $7.99. Okay? But the only problem with that is, in Switzerland, they make $8,650 a month. US $5,595, and in Russia, $589. That's their average salary, according to Numbrio, which is user input data. I even think that's inflated, because I think Russian, propaganda services got their meat hook into that data and have tried to boost it. But according to their user input data, it's only $589 a month. I think it's more still tottering about 490. So you've got a comparison. That means the U.S., in terms of burgers, they can eat 7.8, if you do the math, burgers for every one Russian guy who wants to go and get a burger. So that's basically saying, okay, the U.S. is like 800% richer, and Switzerland's like 1,000% richer, or more actually. If you denominate it and numerate it, you can check me on the calculations. But this is a pretty solid economic indicator. Like, you can live in the decadent West and be 1,000 times richer, or pure and righteous, Russia. No, Russians don't believe, they don't go to church. They don't believe in God, for the most part. Everybody's an individual, but I know this. Okay, I know the culture. So this is something significant. And what's more significant is their ability to purchase these hamburgers have decreased over the last 4 or 5 years. So if the real purchasing power about what they can get is decreasing, their GDP is not really growing like all the Western media outlets are reporting. The Tsar in Russia has said they're not allowed to publish negative growth. He said that, and he blanked out like 422 economic statistics. So this is the real story, looking at the Big Mac index. And let's take a look at that Big Mac. The Big Mac, okay, I have it from time to time. It has 34 grams of fat. It's a little bit hefty, but, I'm like Gilligan or something. I can play a xylophone on my ribs. Let's hope that keeps on going. And the Russian burger's got 67 grams of fat. My goodness, super low quality. It's not even apples to apples. It's like this really poor quality ground meat. And if you read in Russian, you can go online and read in Russian the reviews, they say it's gotten decreased. So you've got a economic substitution effect. The quality is going down and the price is going up, and the real income, are tanking. That is evidence. That is proof the Russian economy is tanking. I am sorry. I know I should be talking about serious stuff, but this is serious. Since the data we get can't be trusted, this is pretty serious, because this is food. This is how people live, and people are going through, I believe, malnutrition, especially, I shouldn't say it, the young ones. Selenium deficiency, iodine deficiency, and protein deficiency. They're going up on these carbs. The protein to carb ratio is going up, and it's showing on their waistline. It's another topic. I don't want to go on tangential paths. Oh, and this big special burger has this unami sauce, which is just loaded with MSG. I don't know if MSG is good for you. It's just a taste enhancer. Why do they need a taste enhancer? The American version has this USD certified grade A 100% beef. And this, who knows what else they put into the secret sauce. Oh, and here's another, just fun fact. Russia has an outbreak of rabies in their cattle, in their beef cattle. And there's a few other things they have an outbreak of. They do have, and I can't declare it mad cow disease free. I know in Kaliningrad there was an outbreak, but this rabies is just hitting and spreading. It's in like March 2026. They'll probably just chop the meat up, give it to the frontline guys, and because they know the life expectancy on the front line is like under a minute, basically. So they'll just give them their last meal, send them off. Doesn't matter what they have. Okay, so that's the taste, that's the quality, that's the fat. They use this rancid, canola oil. I've got some other facts here. The wind's blowing pretty hard, but the main idea here is, whether you look at any other statistic other than official statistics, real income is tanking in Russia. There's going to be an economic crisis that will exceed the 1990s. I'm sorry to say that, okay? But it's true. Russia will have an economic crisis. The only problem is the Russians are so hyper-propagandized. As I mentioned, they've got this expression, Maui Człowiek, we're all little people. They are, that means not individuals. We're all different. But that basically means we can't do anything about our own fate and destiny in our country. And it's almost like some alien force has occupied the Kremlin or Moscow. And it doesn't matter what an alien force. We just have to keep our life in the shadows. That's the expression. Doesn't matter we have nothing to eat. Doesn't matter. This time, it's more serious. We have to be because FSB has total control. We just have to live our lives in the shadows. It doesn't even matter, and I think Vlad mentioned this, it doesn't even matter if Ukraine's occupying Moscow. It's just the government is not the collective unconsciousness of the people. And this is the problem, okay? It's economic, but it's also, a mentality that somehow there's a disconnect between the people and the government. And Russia is going to have a day of reckoning. And I don't mean that in a religious sense, although I tend to believe a little bit now in these Marian prophecies sometimes. You can read about it, how Russia, if it doesn't have this conversion, and it didn't have this conversion, they're going to have like 100 years. Eventually, they'll go down. But that's neither here nor there. That's just fun talk. The main idea here is if they can't go to this tasty, you better like it, hamburger joint and buy a big whopping special and survive the 65 grams of fat in the MSG and pay like a large significant portion of the disposable income, I would say Russia's not a place of economic prosperity. Okay, enough of that. Really good news for Ukraine as, again, good news for humanity because from my understanding, no casualties at the St. Petersburg oil terminal fire. That's what I like to see. I mean, we're all God's children. I don't want to see, innocent people getting hurt or anybody really. But I do want to see Russia go down. That is such a blow to the Russian economy, ultimately failing, that we're going to see this house of cards blow down. Anyway, my name is Mark Bernat. Hope you like my shirt. If you know the significance. Anyway, have a beautiful day.